London's Chinatown is the ceremonial gateway into the West End. Lanterns, bilingual signage, and the iconic Gerrard Street marking a cultural enclave inside London's entertainment core. It's the modern heart of London's Chinese and East Asian communities. Soho is one of London's great shapeshifters, a district that reinvents itself every generation while keeping its core identity as the West End's engine of creativity, nightlife, and cultural experiments. Soho's dining scene is eclectic and dense, with small plates, ramen, tapas, bakeries, cocktail bars, and late-night spots. It's the kind of place where you can wander without a plan and stumble into something great. The major shopping streets in London include Oxford Street, Regent Street, and Bond Street. It's a progression from mass markets to premium to luxury. In this vlog, I'll be exploring London's Chinatown, Soho, and the major shopping streets in the West End. London's Chinatown has been one of the most fascinating migration and renovation arcs in the city. It actually didn't begin in the West End at all, which is actually its third major chapter. London's earliest Chinese community formed in Limehouse in the Docklands during the late 1800s, where Chinese sailors worked for the British East India Company, sailing near the docks, creating a small but distinctive enclave. Businesses included laundries, groceries, shops, cafes, and hardware stores, serving both sailors and the local communities. Two linguistic communities emerged side by side, Cantonese around Limehouse Causeway and Shanghainese around Pennyfields and Ming Street. By 1921, Limehouse had a few hundred Chinese residents, small in number but culturally established. Damage during World War II changed dock work, and urban redevelopment gradually dispersed the Limehouse community. The area would never fully recover as a cultural hub, and many Chinese families and businesses began relocating. After the war, Chinese restaurants began opening in Soho, especially around Gerrard Street. This shift accelerated in the 1960s and 70s as immigrants from Hong Kong increased. Affordable rents and proximity to the West End made Soho ideal for a new commercial cluster. By the late 1970s, the center of London's Chinese community had effectively moved from the East End to the West End. This modern Chinatown is a product of Hong Kong migration, growing demand for Chinese cuisine, West End foot traffic, and community investment in cultural identity. It has become a major cultural and tourist destination, hosting London's largest Lunar New Year celebrations. Today, Chinatown occupies the area around Gerrard Street between Soho and Leicester Square. It's an ethnic enclave filled with restaurants, supermarkets, bakeries, and cultural landmarks such as Wardour Street Gate, built in traditional Qing style. Chinatown is home to some wonderful authentic Chinese foods and bakeries, as well as shops selling Asian cosmetics and Chinese-inspired trinkets and gifts. London Chinatown has a wealth of restaurants, many of which serve regional Chinese fare, but you'll also find other cuisines such as Korean, Malaysian, Vietnamese, Taiwanese, and Japanese, along with European eateries and pizza places. For a real taste of the neighborhood, eat at one of the best London Chinatown restaurants. Diners who enjoy Cantonese cuisine and dim sum are spoiled for choice, with restaurants ranging from spicy Sichuan specialties to Chinese buffet restaurants. Chinatown's history is ultimately a story of migration, resilience, and urban renovation, a community that moved twice yet kept its cultural identity intact. Soho is one of London's most magnetic districts because it compresses creativity, nightlife, counterculture, and renovation into a tiny grid of streets. It's the West End's restless core, always changing, always expressive, always slightly ahead of the rest of the city. Soho began as a fashionable residential area laid out with elegant squares and narrow streets. The name Soho likely comes from the hunting cry used in the fields that once covered the area. As the wealthy moved west towards Mayfair, Soho became a magnet for French Huguenots, Italians, Greeks, Jews, artists, and writers. This mix created the district's early bohemian identity. In the 20th century, Soho became the beating heart of British jazz, rock and roll. The Rolling Stones were recorded here. Film and TV production, publishing and media, and LGBTQ+ nightlife. It was gritty, creative, and rebellious. London's cultural laboratory. Today, it's a blend of independent restaurants, cocktail bars, LGBTQ+ venues, creative studios, boutique shops, and street-level energy that never really stops. The grit has softened, but the creative pulse remains. Key streets in Soho include Old Compton Street, Reek Street, Berwick Street, Dean Street, Broadwick Street, and Carnaby area. Old Compton Street is the symbolic heart of the LGBTQ+ London. It's vibrant, social, and expressive. Greek Street is classic Soho, where literary history, old cafes, and iconic institutions like the French house stand. In Berwick Street, you'll find market stalls, vinyl shops, and fashion studios, a gritty, creative corridor. Dean Street is where you'll find the Soho Streeter, the Soho Theatre, legendary restaurants, and a mix of old and new. On Broadwick Street and Carnaby area, you'll find colorful, curated, stylish, where Soho meets fashion culture. Soho is a compact district where music, theater, and nightlife collide. LGBTQ+ culture has deep roots. Media, design, and post-production studios cluster. Cafes and bars spill into the streets, and history and rebellion sit side by side. Soho is London's perpetual experiment, a place that reinvents itself without losing its soul. From the fashionable home of the swinging 60s to the lamp-lit lanes of Chinatown, Soho is a melting pot of cuisines and home to both London's newest hot pots and its most storied bars and restaurants. On this guided food tour, you'll discover the eclectic flavors, history, and nightlife that make Soho one of the city's most exciting neighborhoods. Embark on a gastronomic adventure through London, where you'll savor the flavors of Soho and Chinatown, two of the city's most culturally rich neighborhoods. This guided experience offers foodies the perfect blend of international bites and historical insights about these neighborhoods and their culinary history. Use my link to join this guided food tour in London using GetYourGuide. The West End isn't just a place on the map, it's London's longest running stage for glamour, entertainment, nightlife, and cultural renovation. The West End became a fashionable residential district for the wealthy, deliberately built west of the polluted industrial city of London. Elegant squares like St. James, Soho Square, and Hanover Square emerged. The area became associated with luxury, leisure, and high society. This early suburb identity still echoes in places like Mayfair and St. James's. After restoration, Charles II licensed new theaters, including the Theatre Royal Drury Line, Royal Opera House in Covent Garden. This created the foundation of the West End's theatrical dominance. By the 18th century, the area was already London's entertainment district. Between 1800 and 1914, the West End expanded into a global center of entertainment, complete with music halls, restaurants, department stores, casinos, grand theaters, and early cinemas. It became the place where Londoners went to see and be seen. The West End became synonymous with musicals and plays, film premieres, nightlife and clubs, shopping boulevards, and creative industries. Even wartime didn't break its cultural momentum. Today, the West End is one of the world's top theater districts, a major tourist magnet, a dense cluster of restaurants, bars, and shops, a symbolic heart of London's cultural identity. It's where tradition and renovation coexist on every street. The West End is a large central district known for Theatreland, nightlife, shopping, cinemas and premieres, and historic squares and boulevards, such as Trafalgar Square and Piccadilly Circus. Theatreland is London's world-famous theatre cluster, enjoyed nightlife at Soho, Leicester Square, and Covent Garden, shopping at Oxford Street, Regent Street, and Bond Street, and cinema and premieres at Leicester Square. It's the part of London where performance, commerce, and spectacle collide. London's shopping streets form a kind of urban constellation, each one with its own personality, history, and specialty. Wander along Oxford Street, one of the most famous London shopping streets, which is home to more than 300 shops, designer outlets, high street chains, and landmark stores. Go on an exploration of legendary department stores, Selfridges, and then chill at its very own cinema once you're all shopped out. Be blown away by the sense of vegan-friendly products at Lush, one of the biggest stores in the country, and a wonderfully fragrant Oxford Street shop. Grab bargain fashion pieces at Primark's massive flagship store, perfect for cheap shopping in London. Check the latest trends at Zara, which has its flagship on Oxford Street. Find all manner of toys and accessories featuring favorite Disney characters at the Disney Store. Oxford Street is Europe's busiest shopping street, with flagship stores, global brands, and department stores. It has high energy, constant crowds, and neon-lit evenings. Symbolically, it's London's retail artery. Stroll on one of the most elegant shopping streets in London, Regent Street, which offers a good range of mid-priced fashion stores alongside some of the city's oldest and most famous shops. Get lost on the many floors and toys and games in the Kids Haven Hamleys. Pick up luxury gifts or splash out on something special for yourself at Liberty London, one of the prettiest shops in central London. Snap up the latest tech must-haves at the Apple Store, or shop for sustainable fashion pieces at other stores such as H&M's luxurious sister store. Regent Street is curved, elegant, and almost Parisian in its architectural suite. It's home to premium brands and beautifully restored facades. It feels like a grand procession route through the West End. Symbolically, it's London's retail leader. Whether you want to splash out the best in designer clothes or just love luxury window shopping, Bond Street and Mayfair Street are the places to go for extravagant retail, therapy, and celeb spotting. Arguably two of London's most exclusive shopping areas, they're home to big names and labels seen on runways. split into Old Bond Street for heritage luxury and New Bond Street for modern luxury. People also come to this area to shop for high-end fashion, jewelry, and to visit the art galleries. Symbolically, the area is London's wealth corridor. Shop for sparkly additions to your diamond collection at Tiffany & Co.'s flagship on Old Bond Street and get your pieces engraved to truly make it your own. Refresh your wardrobe at luxury fashion stores such as Brown. Visit Burberry on Bond Street, the home to iconic chic. Go for the famous monogrammed pieces of Louis Vuitton. While in the area, don't miss out some gourmet streets at Mercado Mayfair, a 200-year-old converted church that is now a flavor-packed food hall, or soak up the vintage Parisian atmosphere at Hideaway. Visit key theaters that revolutionized the landscape of theater in London. Hear which shadows sank without a trace and which have been growing strong for decades. Discover the designers, directors, and actors who bring the story to life. Find out where you can purchase discount tickets to catch the latest West End hits. Play the starring role in a tour of London's historic West End with the help of British acting icon Ian McKellen. This tour takes you from theater to theater on a route from Leicester Square through to Covent Garden, Embankment, and the Strand. Along the way, Ian will whisper secrets of the stage and tell the story of some of the capital's most fascinating buildings. Download this free walking tour from VoiceMap. Chinatown is the cultural enclave of the heart of London, with incredible food density, a living migration story, and a ceremonial atmosphere. Soho is London's creative engine. It has layers of history, micro-district with personality, and nightlife and street energy bring the area to life. West End is the heart of London's entertainment identity with shopping and spectacles, such as Oxford Street, Regent Street, and Bond Street. Visiting London's Chinatown, Soho, and West End gives you three completely different energies within just a few minutes walk, each with a distinct chapter in London's story. Together, they form one of the most intense cultural corridors in the city. In my next vlog, I'll be in Stockholm, Sweden.